Just fixed the stove. Man, you guys wouldn't believe how much crap was in that pipe. Since it's only a 2.5-inch pipe, it doesn't really, it builds up with like tar and creosote. You see that black dripping stuff right there? Yeah, it's all over. The whole inside was caked with it. I knocked like probably 5 handfuls of just black crystals out of there. It was pretty wild. Welcome back. I think it's day 7. It's the 25th of April. There's another log got to cut up with a chainsaw for firewood. I've been cutting down some of the dry dead oak out here. But I just went into town. I returned the car I was borrowing to get set up out here. And yeah, now I'm out here, guys. It's who knows when I'm going to even have a ride off of this property. I will be walking to the neighbor's house every couple days, and you guys might have noticed that a video was uploaded today via YouTube Capture. So I tried out YouTube Capture and uploaded the first episode that way. And I know YouTube Capture, when you guys see the videos, there's a little bit of weird stuff happening in some shots of the videos. That's because YouTube Capture used the auto stabilizer. I don't know how to shut it off. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but it just automatically puts that on the videos. I'll probably be re-uploading all these in fall when I go in for the winter. If I do that, or when I'll at least be going for the holidays to visit family, I'm sure, next winter. And all the episodes that I upload via YouTube Capture, I'll probably do over re-upload, as I'm saving them on the hard drive. So here we are. We're back at camp. Super excited. We're here for good. I have no rides out. I have a bunch of supplies I'll show you later. I probably have like a month. I could easily go a month without leaving here. No problem. After a couple more trips to the grocery store, I could probably stock up for the whole summer, but I probably won't do that because I do like making the trip to town every once in a while. It kind of gets you out of here and gets your mind in a different place than in the little nook you made in the woods, you know. Lots of stuff coming up. Now I'm back to the property. I just fixed the darn stove, was not pushing smoke out right, and I knew there was something wrong, so when I opened that pipe it was just full of crap. So every 3 or 4 days, especially if I'm going to run it all night long, I'm going to have to take that pipe apart and knock it all out and clean it all out so it flows right. But easily done. That little military stove I have that you get on Amazon for $70, it's alright for what it is, but really it sucks, and I need to get a cast iron stove by fall. I'm gonna have to. I can get through the rest of the summer with that thing, but I need a cast iron stove with a 5-inch pipe on it by fall. So hopefully I figure that out. I have a stove. It's like 3 hours up north at my buddy's camp, so I just have to convince him to bring it down. So we'll see what happens. Day 7. Not going to do much more. It's already late in the day. I went and dropped off the car. My mom was on vacation in California, so I went and picked her up from the bus station, and she took a plane into Boston or something, and then got a bunch of buses to get here. Did a huge crazy trip. Didn't make sense. But yeah, I'm excited. We're up here. So basically that's what we're going to use. That's what I pretty much use every time. It's just like 2 of those round logs broken up. 1 into small sticks and then 1 into quarters. And then I always have a small piece of birch bark that I gather from my trees that are dying out there. Fish some of this ash out. And I'll add water to that ash in a little bit so it makes a nice little wet mud spot underneath. That way, if coals fall out of the stove while I'm working it, it usually just goes right out because of that little patch of muddy water that I put down there. So, just the birch bark. Put it in there. Super easy. I guess living in a place where you have birch bark all the time, you don't even have to kill the trees or harm the trees. There's so much birch on my property and around my property, I can just take it from the dead trees, the trees that are already dying. The woodpecker that lives right here, he actually lives in a dead popple tree that I really need to take down with the chainsaw. But I feel bad because I don't think it's a he actually, I think it's a female. Oh, maybe it is a male, but there's a female there too. I think it's their nest. Anyways, he drills little holes in all the birch trees around here. And I guess there's some sort of grub or something that he's going after that come to the birch trees when, I don't know, when he puts these holes in them, or maybe they're already living on the birch tree, so he puts these holes in them just to collect them. But he goes back to the same holes all the time to get whatever happens. I think when you make the holes, it bleeds a little sap, which makes the bugs come. And then he just goes up and eats the bugs. I think that's what's happening. So he's making fresh holes all the time so it'll bleed out some sap. But it kills the birch tree usually eventually where he has his little collection of holes. So that's why I usually have lots of trees that are like either dying or on their way out, and so I can harvest lots of stuff. Just use a lighter here, which I'm sure there's 100 different ways to make this flame, but when I'm camping in my canvas tent, I always have a Bic lighter, because it's, I mean really, it's one of modern man's best, greatest creations. If you handed this Bic lighter to a caveman, boy, he would be one happy mamma jamma. He'd be like, wow, that's the easiest fire I've ever made in my entire life. So, then I just close this really for a second here, and we'll see. We'll look back again in a second here, and it will be nice and flaming up. And that's pretty much it. I shouldn't have to mess with it anymore. But the most important part is having, this is dry oak, and you got to get at least, 2 dozen pieces this small, this thin, pencil size, and that's even a little big on the size. If you have like 2 dozen pieces that are pencil size of oak, and then gradually move up to bigger stuff, your stove will light right away. You just have to make sure you start small enough. But this oak gets really hot. I'll be putting these quarter pieces in no time. Well, see, it's going. Well, that's how I light my stove. Rate, comment, like, subscribe. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now you just add some of these quarter rounds in. And it's a small stove, so it's nice when you have small wood. I cut my wood really short for this stove just so it's easy to work and you can put good pieces in. And it burns faster that way, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And this little stove is a finicky little bastard, so you gotta kind of work with her. But she'll keep this place warm, and I know how to pump this stove well enough that it doesn't put too much smoke into the cabin anymore, which is pretty good. Yeah, there she is. You can hear her humming now. She like chugs like a train. know if you can hear that. Chugging right along. Well, that's how I light my stove, and that's how I get it going, and live by this thing at this time of year. It's about 40 degrees. Day 7, night 7 pretty much, starting, although 8 o'clock at night is still pretty light out these days. Huh. Gotta love spring. Gotta love spring, boys. Dinner on night 7, folks. Biscuits and gravy by Mountain House. It's getting pretty dark. It's probably too dark for you to really see it, but it just looks like mush. But it's definitely one of my favorite Mountain Houses. It's part of the breakfast series, and this is a 2-serving pouch you get on Amazon. I spent $5.95 on it. End of day 7, chilling by the fire. Maybe have a drink or two. You know, relaxing. I'm up at camp for good now. I have all the time in the world now to just take care of business. See you in the morning. Alright, it's day 8. Alright, it's day 8, and I'm getting ready to go for a little walk. I'm just about to leave the property right now, but I want to show you a little survival belt I put together that I'm going to be wearing, and once we get into the walk here a little bit, I'll pull it off and show you what it consists of and everything. But this is just a little lightweight option I've been kind of like thinking about doing, so I bought the belt and put all my stuff on it. But when summer comes, it's nice to not have to carry a backpack and have your back all sweaty. So, look at it. More black. More black I've had for a little while, but I just finally took it out of the storage unit because I've kind of just had that with some of my long-term survival gear. But I figured I'd take it out and start testing it out this summer, and maybe hang the SK5 up for a little while. Got my Condor Village Parang on here. So, once we get into the hike a little bit, I'll take this unit off and show you what it's all about. Alright, how you doing? It's Uncle Dave from DC's Adventures. We're out here on the river. We've been hiking for a little while. I want to stop and talk to you guys today about a carry option that I am considering and that I've put together mostly for the summer or for tropical environments where it's going to be hot and you're not going to want to wear a whole backpack on your back all the time. This is what I'm going to call my survival belt. Alright? The belt itself is just a Condor duty belt. You can get them on Amazon for like $14, black. It has some belt keepers on it and the Velcro inside to it. Good belt, good nice hard buckle on it. Seems like a pretty good belt. That's what I had to get to put the belt together, obviously, and I figured I could use it for other things. I have tool bags and stuff that I can hook onto that, so when I'm working on building stuff I can always wear it as like a building belt. But I mostly got it so when I'm hiking during the summer and wearing shorts and t-shirt and don't want to carry a huge backpack or don't have pockets for stuff, that I could just sling this on when I was going to leave camp. And today we have it all set up with most of the stuff I'd probably carry on it. I mean, the 2 pouches are pretty much the things that I'd have on it all the time. And the blades will kind of depend on where I'm going to be at, you know? And as always, thank you for joining us. rate, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned.